What's up, guys? Travis Colt here for the Wrestling Rundown, and once again, I am going solo. If you watch the midweek wrap-up, I explained that, of course, I'm sure if you've kept up with us the last few weeks, Thomas Wolf is on a very limited schedule and can only show up for certain videos, and unfortunately, Kevin Hawk is dealing with an injury, so he will not be joining me for this video as well. What is this video, you might be asking? Well, we've already gone through Raw. We've already gone through the midweek, so it only makes sense that the next video is the Smackdown Rundown. And here we go. Smackdown was awesome. I enjoyed Smackdown from beginning to end. This is what Raw should have been. If you haven't checked it out, go back, watch our Raw review where me, Kevin, and Thomas just destroy it, because it was a very boring 3 hours, but this 2 hours of Smackdown gave me hope. It makes me excited for Elimination Chamber, which is exactly what Raw should have done. But let's run through the matches real quick. We had the Lucha Dragons defeat the Masters. We had R-Truth defeat King Barrett. We had Ryback defeat Rusev. We had Paige defeat Naomi. And then we had Ambrose and Reigns defeat the Authority in a rematch from Monday's Raw. Now, we open up with Dean Ambrose coming out and talking about what happened on Raw when he got arrested. He talks about, the Authority set me up. That they got me arrested for attacking a defenseless cameraman. He talks about, while I was in the cell, I just thought, okay, how am I going to get out of here? What am I going to do to Seth Rollins when I do get out of here? How am I going to torture him for putting me here? And he goes, oh, and he says, and then the cop said, hey, Mr. Ambrose, you get one phone call. So who did I call? I called Roman Reigns. And I said, hey, you need to buy me some time. I don't know how I'm going to get out of here, but I'm going to make it back to the arena. I'm going to sign that contract. So you need to buy me some time. And so Roman Reigns did that. And he talks about how, he was contemplating different ways of getting out of the cell, whether it was digging a tunnel, digging a hole, setting a fire. He wasn't sure what he was going to do, but then the miracle happened with the YouTube video. He shows the YouTube video of Rollins pushing the cameraman. All the charges are dropped, and apparently he's made friends with several police officers across the nation, and so they were all real big fans of his, and so he got to drive the paddy wagon back, he got the jacket and all that stuff. So pretty much, if you checked out the Raw review, our story at the end of how he got back to the arena is pretty spot on. So, so he goes, now he's back, he signed the contract, it's official, the match is going to happen, and this Sunday, the reign of Rollins will end, and the age of Ambrose will begin. That makes me super excited. I don't necessarily think Ambrose is going to win the title. I have a suspicion that he may win the match somehow. But just the thought of Dean Ambrose being champion makes me excited, because he's so much fun to watch. And if we got him as a champion, I can only imagine how much fun it would be. It would be very much like Stone Cold, because he's that he's the anti-hero. He's not a good guy, but he's the good guy. So it'd be fun to watch, and I'm really excited to see how this plays out. Speaking of how stuff plays out, we had a little preview, or more of a preview, as we've been getting over the course of the last 2 weeks, of what's going to happen in the Tag Team Elimination Chamber. We had a Lumberjack match. We had the Masters taking on the Lucha Dragons, and on the outside were the other teams. We had the New Day, we had the Matadors, we had the Ascension, and we had the Primetime Players, all playing Lumberjacks. Natty was kind of off to the side. Torito was playing a Lumberjack as well. This match was phenomenal. These two teams have so much chemistry. It was insane. I love the cohesion between Tyson and Cesaro. We've been talking about this since they got together. They were a throw-together team in a random tag team turmoil, and they have exploded into probably the greatest tag team on the roster. They had Cesaro did the European uppercut into Kidd's German suplex. There was just so much great chemistry between these two teams. We had a spot where Kalisto was really being double-teamed. Cesaro hit the vertical suplex, and he had Kalisto. He tagged in Tyson Kidd. Kalisto pushes off of Cesaro, elbows Tyson Kidd in the corner, then jumps up and flips off of Cesaro to tag in Sin Cara. Sin Cara comes in. He's jumping all over the place. He's running the gauntlet on these guys. Kalisto gets back in, goes to hit a head scissors on Tyson Kidd. Tyson Kidd grabs him, turns it into the sharpshooter, almost gets Kalisto to tap out. Sin Cara comes in, he breaks it up. Cesaro gets involved. He ends up getting chucked over the top. We've got all kinds of craziness going on. Taking a little break here. The interesting thing is that none of the Lumberjacks actually got physical with any of the competitors. Like, they did what Lumberjacks are supposed to do. They're supposed to grab the person and toss them back in the ring. And that's all they did, and it was really refreshing to see that. So at this point, we get Cesaro dumped over the top rope. He takes out the Matadors, he takes out the Ascension, and the Primetime Players, I believe. This allows... and Big E and Kofi were part of the situation. But Xavier Woods tosses Kalisto back into the ring, and Tyson Kidd goes over to give Kalisto a German suplex. Kalisto turns the German into the Selena del Sol and picks up the win for the Lucha Dragons. Oh my God! This match was so much fun. I was cheering. I was jumping up and down. This makes me so excited to see what they do inside that chamber, because with the tops of the pods, with the floor on the outside, with just everything. There's going to be so many new things that we're going to see. And especially with that amount of people, I can only imagine how crazy it's going to be. So, yeah, just making me more excited for Elimination Chamber this Sunday. We get Seth Rollins goes to the back to talk to Kane. He says, hey, after what Ambrose pulled on Raw, we need to have a plan. We need to make sure that, we can stay a step ahead of him, because, he outsmarted us on Raw. And Kane goes, hey, you need to calm down, because, what we're going to get to do tonight is we're going to be able to soften up Ambrose for Sunday. So by the time he makes it to Elimination Chamber, you are guaranteed to take home the championship. So Kane kind of puts Seth's mind at ease, which is really weird, because they've had such a clash of mentalities, going into Payback, and then even post Payback, when Rollins just plays such the arrogant champion, that it was surprising to see Kane so willing to help Rollins. Maybe it's still his job that's on the line. It could be anything, but it was really interesting to see them be so cohesive, and it even kind of surprised Rollins. Next, we have R-Truth taking on King Barrett. R-Truth they both had little screen promos. R-Truth puts the D in Danger, and he doesn't worry about Danger, but Danger worries about him. That was interesting. And then King Barrett saying that this Sunday in the Intercontinental title Elimination Chamber, all of his opponents will bow down to him, and all the loyal subjects will say, "All hail King Barrett." Both of them staking claims to winning the Intercontinental title this Sunday. This match was really quick, just a couple minutes long. Barrett was on the offense for the majority of it, and was really close to pulling out a win. He sets up for the bullhammer, goes to hit it. R-Truth ducks it. R-Truth grabs Barrett, tosses him into the corner. Barrett puts a foot up, stops himself, turns around, but gets hit with a lie detector as he makes the turn. R-Truth picks up the win. Doesn't get to celebrate very long, though, because Sheamus is there to deliver a brogue kick, allows Truth to get back up, and then hits him with another brogue kick. So we have Sheamus staking his claim. We have the other two staking their claim. We have a match coming up where Ryback takes on Rusev. The only person in the Intercontinental title match that wasn't on SmackDown was Dolph Ziggler. And his whole deal kind of plays into the Rusev situation, which is actually next. We have Lana talking to Renee. Renee asking, how does it feel now that you've, having such a public breakup with Rusev? And she says, sometimes, emotions get the best of you, and that's almost what happened. I thought he could change, but he just proved that he couldn't. And I'm nobody's property, and I'm glad to be free. And then Renee goes, okay, well, what's your relationship with Ziggler? And she says, I don't have a relationship with Ziggler, but and Renee kind of points, well, between you guys kissing and then the fact that Rusev is taking his aggressions out on Ziggler, it seems like there's something there. And Lana lets us know that regardless of what Rusev did to Ziggler on Raw, he's still going to be in the Elimination Chamber this Sunday. And this actually brings Rusev in, and Rusev claims that he's not jealous of Dolph Ziggler, but everything that he's going to endure, he's going to be tortured because of Lana. It's Lana's fault of all the things that are going to happen to Dolph Ziggler. He says the line, "You made your grave, and now you'll rot in it." Or you dug your grave, now you'll rot in it. So, yeah, Rusev's making some big claims here. Up next, he would face Ryback. These two put on a very good big man match. I appreciate they had some technical stuff at the beginning, which was good. Rusev still playing the very dominant heel, but still, allowing Ryback to be the power hungry babyface. And so it was a good clash. There was a lot of really good physicality between the two. Somewhere during the match, Rusev hurt his ankle, and I feel like this is what kind of played into a really. It felt like a forced ending. Ryback picked up the win by disqualification after Rusev threw Ryback's head into the ring post twice. Now, we've seen in matches, this happens multiple times, and I've never seen a disqualification off of it, unless it's been, continuous. But, yeah, Ryback gets thrown in twice, the ref rings the bell, Rusev whips Ryback into the stairs, but he literally cannot stand on his ankle. And it seems pretty severe. Maybe it happened during the commercial, maybe I missed it. If you guys know what was the cause of it, please post down in the comments. But I didn't see what caused the injury. Now, there's reports online. Actually, WWE.com actually put up an update on it. So apparently it is a pretty legit injury. They're saying that he is being evaluated for a lower leg injury, and that to stay with WWE.com to see whether or not he's going to make it to Elimination Chamber. Which is a big takeaway from the match because Rusev is despite his losses to John Cena is on a very big roll. So to see him being pulled out of Elimination Chamber potentially, it really changes the landscape. And according to reports online, granted you can take them with a grain of salt, but what I've been seeing is that if Rusev can't make it to Elimination Chamber, they're going to replace him with Bray Wyatt. Now, my mentality going into this match is I feel like Ryback is going to take the title and eventually lose it to Bray Wyatt. But to have Bray Wyatt maybe sneak his way in and pull out a win on Sunday would be really interesting, especially since he's not set up for anything else. He's fresh off of a win over Ryback at Payback. So what potentially is going to happen here? We'll have to wait and see. And, it's going to be hard for us to make our predictions, which will be coming up this Saturday, if we don't know what's going to happen with Rusev. And moving on to our next match, we have some more build heading into the Divas Triple Threat this Sunday. We have Paige taking on Naomi. Paige saying that, Naomi keeps talking about all these things that she deserves and that she's being held down. And Paige says, well, there's something I deserve, and it's a title shot because you took it away from me. And starting tonight, I begin to take back what's mine. And Naomi counters with her promo saying, well, Paige is, all up in arms with him. She's so emotional, and I can't wait to see the emotional breakdown she has this Sunday at Elimination Chamber when I become the Divas champion. So both girls are very they're very confident that they're going to win this. Granted, Nikki Bella has had the championship since Survivor Series, albeit some of her wins have been due to nefarious means. But I mean, she's had some dominant matches. I'm hoping she loses it because she hasn't really given me anything fun to watch in a long time. But these two girls, Paige and Naomi, had an awesome match. It wasn't very long, but they did some great stuff. Naomi really playing up the heel, but Paige being able to be aggressive and dominant like she always has been, really taking it to her. Paige tries to set up for the Scorpion Crosslock, and Naomi pushes her off. And as she does, Tamina gets up on, or tries to get up on the apron. Paige goes over and super kicks Tamina off the apron. She turns back around, and you think, okay, Naomi's going to take the advantage here. Naomi doesn't. She ends up going for a crossbody on Paige. Paige catches her out of the crossbody, sets up, hits the Rampage, and gets the win over Naomi. It was such a smooth finish. These girls were awesome. I hope Nikki Bella doesn't drag these two down on Sunday, because if the title match this Sunday is going to be anything like this match, I am so stoked for it. And I have a feeling Naomi's taking it. But I could be wrong. I mean, you know, Naomi has had some moments where she could be champion, but it just quite hasn't happened yet. So, you know, maybe it's going to be her time. We did have the Bellas come out, stand up on the stage, so it was kind of a three-way stare down. We had Tamina and Naomi on the outside, and Paige standing in the middle of the ring. So, yeah, there was, please, Nikki, don't ruin this. Please, because these two girls deserve it so much more than you do. Then we had Kevin Owens coming onto SmackDown for the very first time. He's being interviewed by Michael Cole. This is all talking about his match against Cena this Sunday at Elimination Chamber. And Kevin Owens really runs this whole interview, which is great. It's such a good heel tactic, getting heat. I mean, he just keeps interrupting Michael Cole. You know, Michael Cole asking him, you know, hey, you know, John Cena isn't just a... Well, it's... I'm trying to remember how he started out. He asked him, he's like, you know, you've been, you know, with the WWE for a few months. He goes, yeah, I've been with WWE for a few months, but I've been champion, or I've been in the business for 15 years. You know, and, you know, John Cena, yeah, I know all of his accomplishments. That's great. But that doesn't mean anything to me because he has something to prove to me. You know, he talks about his ability to finish matches. He shows what he did to Sami Zayn. And he's so set. He knows what he's going to do to John Cena. And he says that after Sunday, he's going to prove that he is better than John Cena. And that he will show everyone that the champ is here. And finally, we had our tag team main event. This was a rematch from Raw. We had Ambrose and Reigns taking on Seth Rollins and Kane. This was a really good match. Everyone was on top of their game here. It was so much fun. We had an early advantage taken by the Authority where J&J run around. They distract Dean Ambrose. Rollins is able to push Ambrose off of the ring, you know, causing him to tumble. He ducks out of the ring, causing Roman to follow him, but Kane grabs a hold of Roman and they take the early advantage on Roman Reigns. I thought that was so brilliant. And like, there was so much good usage of J&J. Lots of distracting the referee, beating up Dean Ambrose on the outside. Dean Ambrose tries to take advantage. He gets the tag, tries to get the momentum back on his team's side, but the Authority just with J&J out there is just too much. And so we get Ambrose is really, he's really beaten down for a lot of this match. He gets beaten up by J&J on the outside. They toss him back in. Rollins goes for a pin. He kicks out. Rollins and Kane doing a really good job double teaming. They try and do the J&J bit again. J&J beat him up against the table a little bit. They go to toss him back in. He does his little whoop-de-doo, turns around, double clotheslines them over the top. He's able to get in, tags in Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns comes in, house of fire, just taking it to Kane. It's Roman Reigns. I don't know why people are still booing him, because he does great stuff every week, and this was absolutely perfect. He did everything right in this match. Really takes it to both of them, and then it gets to a point where it's him and Rollins in the ring, and they try and, like, I think Rollins was trying to go for like a swinging neck breaker, or I don't know what it was. It was just so much back and forth, and it was insane. And Reigns ends up winning it, hits the knockout punch, or the Superman punch on Rollins, goes down for the pin, but this causes J&J to get in. They break everything up, cause the disqualification. Reigns and Ambrose get the win, and then it's just all-out chaos. And it's, Reigns and Ambrose are actually able to fight off the Authority. They're diving onto J&J on the outside, and they're taking them all out. Kane starts to wave to the back, and the New Day runs down. They start beating up on everybody. Reigns does his big suicide dive over the top rope onto all of them. Him and Ambrose end up taking out the entire New Day. Just one after another, they get destroyed. But this is enough of a distraction for Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose to get jumped by Kane and Rollins. Kane ends up chokeslamming Reigns. Rollins ends up hitting the pedigree onto Ambrose, which apparently he did address the rumors that the curb stomp has been banned, and that from this point on, the pedigree will be his new finisher. It's being an homage to Triple H. So Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns are left laying. The Authority looks strong, and Rollins really has the advantage going into his match against Ambrose this Sunday. An awesome episode of SmackDown. I absolutely enjoyed it. This, along with the midweek, really saved it from the unfortunate time that was Monday Night Raw. And it's just, they usually say that Raw is the go-home show, and that's what really sets the pace for Elimination Chamber. If that was the case, they did a really bad job, because this was so much better. I enjoyed it. What did you guys think? Post down in the comments what you thought about SmackDown. What do you think is going to happen this Sunday at Elimination Chamber? Speaking of that, be sure to wait for this Saturday, when we have our Elimination Chamber predictions. Hopefully my co-hosts are able to join me and or give me their predictions, and I'll be able to relay the message to you. But be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and follow all those links down in the description. The Twitters, the Facebook, the Tumblr, the Instagram, the Reddit, the email, all that stuff where you can talk to us personally. Stoney Guerrero, him and Cody Fox, you guys are awesome. Thanks for keep commenting on the videos. We enjoy having conversations with you guys. Please, let's talk about some wrestling down there, because, we're in a great time for wrestling. Things are really picking up, so let's keep the discussion going. Be sure to let the playlist keep playing. We'll hopefully have Elimination Chamber predictions coming up this weekend, and following that, we will have an indie news. Hopefully me and Kevin Hawk can let you know what's happening in the world of independent wrestling. But until then, I'm Travis Colt, all by myself, and I'll see you guys, maybe with somebody else, at whatever video you decide to watch next.